You gotta take your keys off.
Take like 3 seconds.
It's gonna take about an hour for us to get ready here. Hey, welcome back. I'm Dara. If you're new, wait a little. Hey, I'm Dara. Welcome back. If you're new here. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Hey, I'm Dara.
You gonna say welcome back?
Okay.
You don't have to. Just say hi, man.
So
like a normal person.
I'm Dara.
And I'm Michael. Good to see y'all again.
And in our last video, we promised you why Bellingham. So we're going to talk about why we chose a scouting trip to Bellingham. So we're a couple on a quest to find a dream life. And a big part of that dream life includes in the environment, the culture, the beauty, community, how people care for each other and their animals and their seniors. And so we chose Bellingham. We know the beauty of the Pacific Northwest, and so we chose Bellingham as our scouting trip. And if you want to stick around to the end, we're going to share something that we learned that you're not going to learn on other videos. They're not going to just talk about that typically. So we're going to share what we learned. So stick around to the end for that.
It's good stuff. And what was your first impression of the area of Bellingham?
Well, the first thing I noticed, it was exactly as expected. So I don't think I was surprised. I was just very happy to be there. I wasn't surprised that it was beautiful, but I didn't know what kind of beauty, because all those things aren't necessarily on videos. So for me, it was, it was beautiful, honestly, the whole trip up. And we're going to talk more about that in the next video, our trip from South Texas to Bellingham and back. But my first impression that made me really happy was the Chuckanut Drive on the way, right along the bay.
Beautiful.
Of the water was there with the hills and sea hills in the background and the big trees and the rocks on the right, kind of going left and right and curving around, headed to, about 15 minutes out of Bellingham, which was Larrabee State Park, and that's where we were going to stay. So that got me really, really happy and rejuvenated, and we had already been on the road for a while at that point. What about you?
Yeah, and for me, it was the grand entrance to the Cascade Mountains. We come from more of a subtropical, deserty type region right now in South Texas, and I've been to that part of the country before, and I know they have mountains and the snow and the rain and the clouds, but I just forgot what it felt like. And coming through that gateway leads to Bellevue, Seattle, and Bellingham pretty much, and I was blown away.
Yeah, I think it was one time where he actually repeated himself multiple times. I'm normally the one who this is beautiful, this is beautiful, this is beautiful.
Yeah, it was a grand entrance, and I would do it all over again.
Yes, and so how about what we did while we were there, and what were our favorite, most enjoyable parts or experiences?
For me, some of the things we both noticed pretty quick is the senior community is super active. And I'm damn near a senior right now myself, so I can get into that. Bike riding, kayaking, hiking, and a lot of them, they were all around everywhere.
It just seemed good, just happy. They seemed happy and active and included.
And they were happy. They didn't seem happy.
Yeah, to us. That's what it looked like. I'm sure there's occasions, but in general, seemed like a happy crowd.
Yeah, and another thing we got to noticed while we were there is the traffic is almost non-existent for a city of 95,000. That also blew me away. We're driving a 24-foot Sprinter van on our road trips, and there's some cities, if we want to get to a certain event or brewery or restaurant, sometimes we have to park 3/4 a mile away and walk there.
It's not convenient. And if you're interested, speaking of which, if you're interested in us sharing more, because we've actually been traveling for 4 years now.
In the van.
And so we can do a video on that. Comment below if you want us to do a video of the places that were really the easiest places to travel with the van. We've been to quite a few, and we can share that, so let us know. So yes, very easy, which made us feel very welcome.
Yeah.
In the Fairhaven and downtown area. So it was very easy.
And another thing we noticed, and it's seems to be all over the countryside, and we spanned out a little bit, all the farms and houses that have little gardens They set up these little stands right out front by their mailbox.
It's adorable.
Honor system, and they sell eggs, honey, fruits, vegetables,
Flowers.
You just grab what you want, throw whatever money they're asking for in the deal, and I could live in a society like that. That's my people there, man.
Yeah, that made me very happy. Those little moments. It just so we got some apples. We stopped for some apples. And so we got to explore cafes, coffee shops. We went to a couple of breweries. In fact, we got to a brewery our first night and an Italian restaurant. It was awesome. Got to meet some locals. And even they were saying that they pinched themselves because they couldn't believe where they were and all the wonderful things they got to do.
And they've been here for 3 years.
Yeah, and so they were very friendly and shared quite a bit. So they mentioned something that was really interesting to us, and we'll include that in the end when we share our other thing that we learned about Bellingham.
Yeah, and we've got to do some of the activities. They have the Beats on the Bay. That goes, I'm not sure the length of the year that goes, but we got to witness that. They had some bands playing on a schooner right in the bay there. And it was just such a cool feeling. Paddle boarders were going out there, kayakers, basically anything that was floating was going out there, and it was a concert on the water. I've never done nothing like that. We didn't have a boat, so we were watching from the shore or the boardwalk.
We were just thoroughly enjoying the culture and just we were enjoying the music from the sidelines. But we still went out to the boardwalk and listened to the music for it. It was very cool. It just reminded us a lot of living in Austin, really, just the music and the community that were just happy. It was a beautiful day, best beautiful day.
The whole time we were there.
Yeah, we got lucky. What else did we explore? So we went to art galleries.
Well, I was wanting to mention, we didn't get to do the first Fridays because we were there on an off week. So I think we missed it by one Friday when we were there.
First Fridays are vendors and music, and stores are open late, and other kind of booths and things. And I was really hoping to do that because just to get a real sense of the community.
Meet a lot more people that way.
Yeah, we were there a couple days later, but we did notice that there's a lot of 20-somethings, a lot of seniors. I think maybe all the people in our age range were working.
Yeah,
I didn't see too many of them because we were there during the weekdays. But just wonderful. Wonderful community is what we noticed. Good food, cool breweries. Michael has more choices with his IPAs than I do with my lagers, but I found a tasty one when I can. And restaurants, lunch places, dispensaries, and
lot to choose from.
We spent quite a bit of time in the Fairhaven area, and also in the downtown Bellingham area as well.
And if you don't know, Fairhaven and Bellingham are basically the same town. It's a sister little town, but Fairhaven would be your more touristy area, a lot more foot traffic where you can just walk around and go to the bay where they had the Beats on the Bay.
So it was just a cool town. We went to the boardwalk park almost daily, where they had really walkable spaces. Everyone was walking around with their dogs all over the place. So that wonderful little park there, and we get Woods Coffee, which I guess is like a Starbucks, everywhere else. They had plenty of those around town. So we were there quite a bit. We went on a couple of hikes, went to as many parks as we could, where they had waterfalls and freshwater lakes and streams and rivers, and it just wonderful. And then
all very close,
and just exploring the surrounding area. We're not going to share all the details of the type of property we're looking for. We haven't gotten a real estate agent yet and pre-approved all that. We're still scouting and we're still learning, and we're going to know it when we find it. And then the piece de resistance.
Yeah, there can't do a Bellingham video without talking about the San Juan Islands. Okay.
So we got to talk about our final 2 nights in the Pacific Northwest, which was the San Juan Islands. So we decided to take the ferry out to Orca Island for the day. The state parks were
all booked
up on the island, so we kept our campsite on shore, and we took a ferry, took Baby Bird and our 2 dogs and a cat, And we went on an hour-long ferry, super pricey, so a couple $100, but totally worth it, I think.
But if you're a local or you the
Bike or walk in.
bikers or pedestrians get access on those ferries for free.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody like that, I mean, then there's not much of a cost at all.
That was one of the big highlights for me. So going in there and seeing all these, it was misty and just so freaking peaceful in the bay there, going from the shore to the island. Right at sunrise, it was at 7 a.m. And then onto the island where we got to explore the town for a little bit. Most things were closed, so we decided to head out to explore the rest of the island. So we went up to Moran State Park, which is on the island, and went up to Tippity Top and did the lookout up there. That was breathtaking. I forget the name of it. It's a lookout. There's several history there, and we can link some more information below. And also in Moran State Park, there's this beautiful lake. Then we went and sat and filmed our first video.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. And then also we went to this, I think it's my favorite hike I've ever been on.
That was very nice.
My favorite hike. It was so peaceful, quiet. There weren't a lot of people there. It was super early, maybe 8:39 o'clock in the morning. And it was just split off to all these different waterfalls. And so we got a lot of footage of that as well. So if you're interested in that, we can do just a Orca Island little video and just a Bellingham video. But for now, we're just sharing what we learned in this video.
And even if we're not real far hikers right now,
So
I think
easy,
the entire loop might have been a mile, but you can access probably 2 of those waterfalls in about a quarter mile.
Yeah, so we've been rescued at least twice. Feel a little embarrassed admitting that, but at least twice.
I don't feel embarrassed.
Okay, well, yeah, not really, I guess. It just is what it is. But at least twice, because we decided to go on a hike in the middle of a 100-degree Texas summer and needing someone to drive us back to our campsite or to the trailhead to our car. Okay, and then, so that was a wonderful last night. So the next day we headed back to South Texas. And so what did we learn? So would we live there?
I would live there tomorrow, the next day, and probably for the rest of my life. I was that blown away. But
So remember at the start of the video, we were going to share something that we learned that we don't think you've seen on any other video about Bellingham area. Drum roll. So what did we learn about that area that you can't learn from videos?
Well, I think this area is unique in the fact that we've been to a lot of beautiful places with a lot of outgoing people. But I think this is the first one I've been to that you actually have to be there to be captured by that vibe they have.
Mm-hmm. Good vibes.
You feel welcome right away, and in the whole 7 days, that welcome never left. If anything, it grew. And my admiration for the place, and yours too, probably just grew along with it.
Yeah, I was in quiet awe for a lot of it. I was absorbing and processing quite a bit of it. But yeah, I don't think people talk about that. They can talk about how many breweries and the beautiful nature and the hikes and the trails and maybe a little bit about the music and the murals and whatever. But to learn about what the culture's actually like, giving you a little insight from our experience and from our friends on the first night we met. When people ask each other, what do you do? They're not wanting to necessarily know, what do you do for a living or how much money you make. It's not a pretentious community. It's a caring, peaceful, chill, probably adventurous, connected community. And so they want to know, what do you do? As in, what's your outdoor adventure sport? Yes. What's your favorite hike? What's your favorite, activity that you enjoy?
That's completely new to us.
And that's really different. And so that was really cool. So that was the first night where we learned that, where when people say, what do you do? And what they're wanting to know is, oh, do you hike? Do you kayak? Do you bike? Do you boat?
And I think to some extent, when you research a town and then go visit it, you get a little bit more from any place if you actually are there live. But I truly believe this place is unique in that capturing that vibe and that feeling, you must be there.
Yeah. So it was wonderful, and it was just the type of trip that we needed. So this vacation, which we're really grateful that we're able to take, almost didn't happen for a variety of reasons. But we made it happen because we both needed it. I think in the past year I was very overwhelmed. He's been busy renovating this old house we live in, and so we both needed our getaway. So we've been feeling very overwhelmed, and I know on my way back, I felt very inspired to move towards.
Me too.
Which is why we started this channel, is to share this journey with you as we learn step by step from where we're at. And there's many, many prequel stories that that led us to where we're at today. But so it remains to be seen. Will we live there? I mean, I think if we had the choice and we had all the resources, we probably would be there. So it still remains to be seen. I know on our way back we explored Colorado, and I always get the warm fuzzies for the Colorado too. So we'll see. So stay tuned. Let us know what places you're exploring and what you've learned about the people, the community, or the vibes, and access to nature and culture.
Spoiler alert, we will be living there.
We don't know yet. Well, thanks so much for joining us. I think that about covers it. In the next video, we're going to share more all about a little bit more details, maybe about some cool things that we saw along the way and some new ventures. There were quite a bit that were new, and we've been that way a couple of times.
Yeah.
So it's cool to take a different route and just kind of just be in awe most of the days. It was very, very few moments where we were kind of bored or where there was ugly scenery. So stay tuned for that. If you're interested, give us a subscribe and a thumbs up, and it'll help us make more videos to know what you're interested in. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Be safe.